What's up? Welcome back to another video. Today, I am going to be talking about Sparking Zero and its problems. And honestly, the game is bearable, but barely. And I say this because there's still so many glaring issues with the game that it's impossible to push aside the problems that it has. I only make this video because I would love to see this game prosper, and the game has made a multiverse that is pretty dope. But I think there's a massive point that they missed in making this game. You know, a massive skill difference that they haven't invited. And the biggest problem in this game is the meta. In this first game that I play here, I'm playing as Gogeta, Dr. Wheelo, and Gohan. A three-man team. This guy probably has a 4 or 5 man team, which means that he just has more health bars off bat. And he can trade out his character in 15 seconds versus me trading out my fusion every 45 seconds. Him being able to trade out every 15 seconds makes it so that it's really difficult to do 1,500 plus damage every single combo. Main reason that this is so difficult is because the window for uh Z countering is 4 frames. The net code isn't too great. You know, sometimes you get good match, sometimes you don't. You could play with 5 bars only, but in the S ranks, it takes like 5 minutes to get a match, especially with how low the population is right now in the game. But the meta is so drastic that I lose this match. I lose this match, and the guy was good. He wasn't great. He was good. And then in the next match, I play against another player and absolutely roll him because all I did was pick some cheesy ass characters. This is the major problem with the game. You can really just cornball your way through it. And I guess the fun could be, oh, I'm doing decent while not having fun, like playing the characters I want to play. I'm just going to struggle even if they're good. Like there's no way that Gogeta should struggle against Master Roshi. And that just doesn't make sense, period. um Maybe make it harder for him to Z counter him. Maybe make him do maybe make it for harder for Roshi to Z counter Gogeta. And I do mean this just as a DP thing, a DP difference. Like if a character is a DP7 or a DP10 fighting off against the DP2, that DP2 should struggle and have smaller windows for parrying. And maybe the higher DP has bigger windows and armor on certain things. Just like make it at least feel Dragon Ball esque. You can't have a game that wants to be so Dragon Ball without actually making the game Dragon Ball. Um it's pretty frustrating because the game is actually pretty fun in short bursts. Um Playing one player and two player like split screen is pretty cool, but it's still not enough. Like the content that they dropped was just not enough. They didn't they didn't make it so that they showed that they cared in any way, in any capacity. And that's pretty frustrating because this game really deserves a lot of love. It has a formula to be good. It doesn't look bad. It just feels kind of abysmal because the skill ceiling is so low, actually. It doesn't take much to be decent at the game. but it also doesn't take much to be great at the game or stick out. You know, if you just play a solid defense, constantly charge up your what do they call that? When they charge up, they go like "Rah!" What do they call that? Energy key, yeah. When they charge, you just charge up your key over and over and over again, and make sure that you have more resources to win your Vanish War, and boom, you should be chilling. It sounds it sounds boring because it is. you know, it has a lot of potential to be really fun, but playing this game online really sucks. If you play the game with some cool friends, you're gonna enjoy yourself. But if you're not playing with friends, if you're looking for a competitive experience, you're not gonna get it here because the balancing is just terrible. The UI still looks really bad. They didn't add any story content. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they could add. Like, they should just add battles from the manga. You know, you can't really have a DBZ game without bringing any content that without bringing any new content. Like, we already saw that storyline in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and it looked cool in Unreal Engine 5. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun playing it, but there should have been more instead of just what ifs. Once you run out of content, boom, you're just out of content. There's no more, except for fighting against other players. And once you play the meta characters, you're not going to want to play because it's just the same shit over and over and over. It's just about who can manage their health bars better. That's not fun. Give some discrepancy. We want to play the game. I'm not trying to sit here and shit on this game to its core because I actually have a really soft spot for this game. I want it to be better. I want it to succeed because I waited years for it. Like, could the company just do right by the fans a little bit? Maybe tweak some of the mechanics that are out of whack, like the way giants work, like the way all the power levels work. You know, give us something to work with here where we can play a game that feels good and makes sense. You know, if Dr. Wheelo's getting slammed by Bardock, I really don't care. They're both fours. But if the giant guy who's a level 8 is getting slammed by Bardock, that does not make any sense. There's a power level difference. Why is that not being exacerbated? You know, why is that not being accentuated? Why is nobody actually complaining about that? The main guy, Dodo Doya, he makes a video with Sparking Zero a scam. Yeah, it really feels that way, you know, and it hurts like as a gamer because a lot of games feel like scams, and I feel like a lot of people were looking at Sparking Zero to kind of tell the rest of the industry to be like, look out, because this is what a good game looks like. This is how you do fan service. Um, but we didn't get any of that. We just got a lackluster attempt at fueling nostalgia, and they did well. They really did. Um, just dropping the movie characters and 3 custom battles when they should have been dropped on release. They should have been dropped on release. That was like it's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face. You should have genuinely taken that with disrespect. And this is why I've made a video saying that DBZ, the people who are marketing the game, do not care about the fan base. They do not care about you, and it shows in the lack of work that they're willing to put in to the project. It still has legs under it. The foundation is solid enough to actually come back, but they just need a few tweaks. If they do anything, just make the discrepancy between, also balance the DPs, please. Like, there's no way that some of these androids should be 7s. Cooler shouldn't be a 7. He's not stronger than Broly. He shouldn't be a 6. You know what I mean? Broly's like not a 5, bruh. There's no way you're gonna ever tell me Broly's a 5. Even off rip, Broly's like a 7. And at max, he's a 9 when he charges up. He's not a 5 going to a 9. That doesn't even make any sense. Um, they just need to fix the DPs. the differences between the DPs and Z counter timings. Make it 2 frames. Just make it 2 frames. Make it harder for people to break out of combos. And if that's not enough, then make it so that there's like a 0.15 second cooldown so you can't spam it, or a 0.09 second cooldown so you can't spam it. Like, make a little bits of tweaks and changes so that the game is easier to play. And I don't mean easier to play as in easier for everybody or easier for the good players. I mean easier to actually want to keep on playing. There's gonna be more differences if they have a 2 frame parry versus a 4 frame, because the person who practices the 4 frame is going to be way more consistent. The person who practices the 2 frame is also going to be consistent, but it's just that it's half the time, legitimately half the time. And that's the way it was before. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 had it that way, and it was solid. I'm not gonna lie. I played Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the Dolphin emulator. I played Budokai Tenkaichi 4, the modded one, on the PSXN thing, and it was awesome. Awesome. Legitimately, I had so much fun playing those games. But then when this game came out, they just oversimplified it, which completely killed any replayability or any skill expression, because everybody can do what you can do. And that's not to say that I don't want that. It's just make it more skillful. Just make it more skillful on everybody's behalf, on everybody's part. The bad players are going to get good or they're going to leave. And the players who actually play, you could even make it 1 frame. And I guarantee you people would actually gravitate toward that, because nobody wants to feel like the hardest part of the game is also the easiest. Everybody wants that gratifying mechanic, and Z counters can be that. Some UI fixes, make it a little bit cleaner, maybe give some titles, separate it so that way it just reads better. Maybe give some performance upgrades to the intro lobby so that it's not dropping frames, because dropping frames on an intro lobby always feels bad. Maybe give a static option, like or give like a Budokai Tenkaichi 3 option. Give like a slider for that, and make it so that it's like, an updated version of that. That'd be not only nostalgic, but pretty good on resources, and not too difficult of a change, if you ask me. I really want to see this game do well. If there is a developer who happens to lay eyes on this game, please know I'm saying this because I want this game to do great. I don't want to see Videl slamming UI Goku, and I hope you don't either, as somebody who's actually working on this game and, you know, hopefully taking it seriously, because a lot of people genuinely love Dragon Ball Z. I'm not a fan of the show. I'm a fan of the games, and I love Budokai Tenkaichi, and I really want to love Sparking Zero. I really do. Um, this all being said, thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell, leave a comment telling me what you think are some fixes they could make in order to better the game, progress the game forward. And if you agree with any standpoints I got, because honestly, I'm trying to do something here. I'd love for us to all have an open dialogue and see what everybody's cooking up in their head. Thank you for watching.